tomorrow all things were gone. I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. All right, first off, I want to say, thank you for all of the men and women and the armed forces who have given me this right and this opportunity to just, voice my opinion. That's my national anthem. That's my national anthem. And I really feel like it should be changed to that song. I can keep going on about Francis Scott Key. This video was about Drew Brees' apology, but I wanted to first thank the men and women of the armed forces who give us all the right, who gives us all the right to voice our opinions, who gives us all the right to say and do some of the things we say and do, the liberties and freedoms that we get. But the one thing that it's two things that I love about that song. There was no hate written in that song, nothing but love, no hate. And another thing, when he said, "At least I know I'm free," at the time that song was written, I was free. At the time that song was written, my people were free.
We weren't in bondage. At the time the national anthem, Star Spangled Banner, was written, my people fought for freedom, for others. And as soon as the Revolutionary War was over, we went back into slavery. Um, I don't have to read the verse to you anymore. I've put it on Facebook. I read it to a few people. I have it in my phone if anybody wants it. But there was a verse in there about killing slaves. I asked a Cuban American, I'll ask you, would you stand up for anything Fidel Castro wrote? I'm not going to answer, I'm going to ask you. I'll ask a Jewish person, would you stand up for anything that Adolf Hitler wrote? Now, that song that Francis Scott Key wrote was during the midst of 300 and something years of slavery. Over 300 years of slavery. There's nothing in the United States compares to that. There's nothing in no country around that compares to that many years of one people being enslaved, being brutalized, being murdered, women being raped, families being separated, and then the threat of dying in that national anthem. So that's why I'll never put my hand over my heart for that national anthem. But I am proud to be an American, and that's my national anthem. Love me, hate me, that's my freedom. Now, as we get to Drew Brees' apology, do I accept it? I can't say that I accept it, but I do think it was kind. I do think it was I don't think no one put him up to doing it. I do believe a lot of the backlash really made him think. I do believe sometimes when we do the wrong thing, or we say the wrong thing, that maybe sometimes people have to let us know. It's always good to have people around you to let you know that you're wrong. And a lot of people let him know he was wrong. The commissioner comes out and apologizes and say, I apologize for not listening to you guys. I apologize for not listening to the players. But the one thing he did not do, the one thing Roger Goodell did not do was apologize to Colin Kaepernick. So that was a half-hearted apology. So I don't accept that. Because it wasn't just the players. It was mainly one player. So until Cap is back in the league, or until he's too old to play, I more than likely will continue to boycott the NFL like I have been since he's been out. But Drew Brees, I never thought you was a bad man. Never thought you was a mean guy. This is why I'm so glad I'm getting the opportunity to have Mark Rogers on here so he can give me his perspective. And I'm so proud that he allowed me to come on his channel to give him my perspective. 400 years of slavery, over 100 years of Jim Crow, and still a whole bunch of systemic racism that goes on in this country on a daily basis. There are way more black people in the United States of America than there are white people. But there are way more black people there are way more black people. There are way more white people in the United States of America than there are black people. But there are way more black people in prisons. And a lot of it's designed that way. Don't get me wrong, we all make choices. But a lot of us are set up to fail. There needs to be some more equality. We need to look at each other as human beings. Not as human beings and as Americans. We need to have these open dialogues. These are things that we need to do in order to, we can't continue to just say, I don't want to talk about this, I want to talk about football. Because things like this happen. Football is full of predominant black people. Basketball is full of predominant black people. Baseball is full of predominant brown people. We're not just for entertainment. We're human beings. We are Americans, and our voice should be heard. Laws should be changed for the better of all Americans. We have to stop the prejudice. And I have one more thing, and I'm going to hurt some people. For anybody who says that Colin Kaepernick disrespects the flag, but you fly the Confederate flag, and you say and Colin Kaepernick disrespects the United States Army or the United States military, no, you disrespect the United States military, because that war is what determined what the United States military was. You had the Confederate States of America, and you had the Confederate States, and you had the Union. Once the Union won, we became the United States of America. So when that war ended, you became a United States citizen, not a Confederate citizen. So look at yourself in the mirror. We went to war with the Confederacy and won. That's it. There is no other way of putting it. It's just facts. So if you say Colin Kaepernick disrespects our United States Armed Forces for kneeling, and you still believe that, every time you fly that Confederate flag, you're spitting in the face of our soldiers. Because we are the United States now. Period. We were not the United States then. I love you guys, man. See me and Mark Rogers, and I'm gonna try to get one more other person on tomorrow, I think around 3:30, if you decide to chime in, and we're gonna continue this discussion. If you don't want to, I understand. But God put me here for a reason. God put people here for a reason. And I truly believe that part of that reason for me is to bring all people of color together. Cole. All people of color together. All Americans together. Period. We have to come to some type of bipartisanship. And if the government won't do it, then we have to. I love you guys. I'm out.